What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for the second year in a row roast of the Italian Stallion. I got Two-Pair Tate already on here tonight. We're playing some music. We're going to have a good time. We're going to go an hour tonight. If you want, please jump on that chat box. Definitely come on. Wish me a happy birthday. Two-Pair turns 41 here in a couple weeks. My birthday's officially Thursday, but we're celebrating tonight. Just because of schedules, unfortunately, Shane couldn't be here tonight, but we'll give you a shout out, Shane. Hope you're feeling better, and we catch you on the next show. And, the next show is going to be fun because Two-Pair, we kind of talked about it a little off camera. The next show, we're going to do our Bracketville pick like we did last year. It's going to be the Rebels with a Cause bracket that I will enter into the big ESPN tournament. And hopefully, we can have a great better success this year as we pick it together and go from there. And that's a contribution from everybody in the chat box. So,
right.
The one thing I do want to
say tonight we have beats by the incredible West Oven Beats. West Oven, let them know what it is, Wes.
Listen to beats.
The Big West Oven. Shout out to Big West Oven.
What's up, y'all? Hey,
what's up?
West Oven with the beats tonight for the show with Rebels with a Cause. And let's hit them with the disclaimer.
Oh, absolutely. I got to do it. The views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of West High School. These are solely the RWAX crew's views. That's myself, the Italian Stallion, Two-Pair Tate, Brian Tate, and of course the coach, statsman himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac. But yeah, and also remember, join that chat box, hit that like and subscribe button. We want to hear your voice of your opinions. Two-Pair, not only did I want to celebrate my birthday today, and, we're going to be celebrating yours coming up 2 days away from turning 41, less than 2 days now. But the big thing, though, that I want to do is talk some college hoops, because in my opinion, as big as those first 4 days of the tournament are next week, I think conference tournament week, brother,
is my favorite.
Is amazing, because you get to see some of these small teams that don't maybe get the airtime. Now
right.
It's better now, but remember 25 years ago when you and me were younger, we couldn't see these teams. Like, you only saw them right then on that one game. ESPN got the final of the MVC tournament or whatever like that. And so I get to it is that it's even more special because you can watch them if you want to, but at the same time, it's very interesting that you have these teams that are playing for their lives, playing to become Cinderella, but you get to see them this week, and you get to see all the big dogs, too, along the way. I mean, it's nonstop basketball from noon to pretty much midnight, and it's awesome. It's just awesome.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful to watch. And you know what I'm saying? Like, the one thing I love about tournament basketball is you're seeing some of the best of the best play at their peak. Like, we saw Furman lose to Wofford, heartbreaking loss. Yeah. But that's what tournament time is. It's the best type of basketball for me, and it's made me more of a fan of the game when it's tournament basketball, man.
Yes, it is.
So awesome.
This is when you know who the teams that have it and don't have it, honestly. By the way, speaking of that Furman game, did anybody see the cute girl with the FU hat on, by the way? I was rooting for her because I wanted to see her in the tournament, FU. But unfortunately, Wofford got there again, and Wofford's kind of been one of them killer teams, man. Like, you got to watch out for
them. And the SoCon, they're just one of those teams. They're a pesky team.
Yep.
They play that frantic style. They're going to slow it down in the half court. Shout out to West Oven Beats.
I love it. Shout out them Beats.
West Nation is giving us the music tonight.
I love it.
So
I love
it. Working all day. Like, he's made 100 beats and he's just killing it.
I love it. No, I love it, and it makes it very special and so forth, for sure. I do want to also throw this out there more than anything, too. Speaking of the conference tournaments, we've got to talk. We got to talk about the biggest tournament that there's going to be this week. Now, we could be biased, but
I know where you're leaning.
the rankings, the matchups.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be 5 days of brutal basketball starting tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central Time, noon Eastern Time, and that's going to be the SEC tournament. And it starts off with South Carolina against Arkansas.
That's going to be a fun match.
That's going to be a fun game, and Arkansas needs to win that because otherwise they'll slip out of the tournament again.
They will not.
Winning,
they are on the bubble.
They are on the bubble,
and they haven't played their best basketball this year.
No, they haven't.
A lot of changes happened when Calipari got there. You kind of knew he was going to bring a lot of those Kentucky guys. Wagner's over there, Thurio's over there. It's all about, can they navigate through a treacherous SEC? The Vols heading in with a 4 seed. They've been kind of up and down. They had a 10-point win against South Carolina Saturday. The seniors, Jemai Mashack and Zakiya Ziegler, for what they've done for the university, has been tremendous and phenomenal because they've been a part of SEC regular season, SEC tournament teams. Are
they the winningest senior class? They have to be, right?
They got to be one of the top winningest senior classes. It's got to be up there with Wayne Chisholm. I think Wayne Chisholm, for the longest time, Wayne Chisholm held that in a hierarchy when it came to the wins. And shout out to VFL Chris Lofton for that wonderful Vol for Life on SEC Story last night.
Definitely, it's on my DVR. I saw previews of it. I got chills, but it's on my DVR to watch. So I cannot wait to see that one. So, by the way, switching gears real quick because I don't want to leave the SEC tournament, but. Did anybody find it hilarious that poor Kevin Keats got fired from NC State a year after their magical run, and then basically their documentary aired on ESPN on Monday night, the day after he gets fired, about the run of the men and the women getting to the Final Four.
Why you
what are we talking about?
You held the guy's job for a year because he got to the Final Four, and then you fire him the next year.
Yeah, because they lost some special players. I mean, a lot of those guys are playing overseas, two-pair, like DJ Horn and everybody. I mean, like DJ Burns. I mean, those guys are playing overseas. They may not have made the NBA. That was a special group that put it together, and they are living proof that if you get hot in March, man, you get hot in March, man. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what you did before. I mean, honestly. So,
and it's extremely fucked up, and yeah, I can say that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Like a guy like that, he takes you to the Final Four. He gets you to a Final Four, right?
Yes.
You fire this man the next year?
I know. And it was their first Final Four since Valvano? Am I right with that they won the damn thing? So you're talking
first
about
Final Four since '83.
So we're talking as old as we are, man. Even older. 41 years it took to get your ass back there, and you're going to fire this man. I mean, who are you going to get? Who are you going to get is what my question is. Why would you take that job, two-pair, knowing that if you got to a Final Four and you have a so-so year next year, the hell with you. You're done, I mean, that's what I would do. And let's be real. NC State is a tough job because you got Duke and North Carolina right there. Wake Forest has been traditionally better. Honestly, has put out more NBA players.
Better.
Yes,
they have actually been traditionally better. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll tell you this. I watched Florida State getting their ass kicked, and I feel bad for Leonard Hamilton. He deserved better.
Yeah, he does.
And it just shows that the game is passing by a lot of these older coaches, man. Everybody's getting younger, and Rick Barnes and Bill Self, and these guys are the old guard now, man. And you didn't think that you would say that. So, but honestly, I give credit to Rick Barnes from a standpoint that he's managed this NIL. He has still been able to relate to kids that are 30-something years younger than him. So, I mean, I just feel that you talk about a coach that hasn't thrown in the towel yet, and it looks like it's kept him younger. He looks like he's still having fun with it, more than anything. While a lot of these other guys, like the Tony Bennetts, the Jim Larinagas, Leonard Hamilton, they said peace out. They're done. I mean, they really did. So, but yeah, I like I said, I'm just Tom Izzo seems to have found a rejuvenation with this Michigan State team, and I'm really shocked because I thought that they were complete ass in November and December,
I
but
did
damn,
too.
that they have come together. But let's be fair. The last time a Big Ten team won the NCAA tournament was the Flintstones 25 years ago. And the truth of it is, is that the Big Ten has been that conference traditionally put the most bids, and they're all done by the first weekend for the most part. They barely get anybody in the Sweet 16. So will that hold true again this year? That's that stigma.
Right.
They fight as a conference, even though they've added UCLA and Oregon and these Pac-12 teams. So that's the other thing. So more than anything. But let me ask you this too, Pear. What's your thoughts on how this SEC tournament is going to go? Obviously, the Vols don't know yet who they're going to play. There's got to be basketball played tomorrow as well as Thursday before they take the court respectively. They're the late game on Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. They play at 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time because of where they're at in the bracket. But what's your thoughts on Tennessee's chances of this SEC tournament? They could be the greatest one ever played.
I think they got a good shot this year. Just looking at the matchups, they match up well with everybody. It's my thing with them is they can't get into those scoring droughts.
Correct.
Where you get in those scoring droughts, you need a bucket. Chaz Lanier's got to be firing on all cylinders. Igor Milicic, you got to be able to hit key layups. You got to have Cade Phillips do what he's been doing off the bench. But the guy that I think is going to be the X factor is Gainey. Gainey has been, when he's on, he is one of the more dangerous players in college basketball, given his skill set, it being a very great 3-level scorer or 5-level scorer. If you're Jason from the Bay, shout out to Jason from the Bay. What I really love about this team is the way Jemai Mashak and just finds a way to involve himself in the game defensively and what he can do for you offensively, because he has the confidence and he needs to be able to take that shot. The thing that has hurt this team is you're relying so much on Zakai to distribute, score, defend. He's doing all that because he is the leader of this team, and he's a reflection of what the coach wants on the floor with Coach Barnes. Now, what makes this group very special is that they can lock up, and when Chaz Lanier is on, he is the walking bucket. And you have to be able to move the ball in a way to get Chaz Lanier those shots, and Jemai Mashak has to shoot the ball.
Yes. Yeah, and everybody needs to step up. This is the time of year that you can make a name for yourself. They need to step up. I do want to make a correction, and this was my bad on that. We're actually going to be the 2:30 game. So we're on the top part of the bracket as the 4 seed. I'm sorry about that. It's Alabama that's going to be the late game on Friday. But who we would play tomorrow? Texas and Vanderbilt play. Vanderbilt probably will win that game. And that will set up a Vanderbilt Texas A&M game, and the winner of that would play Tennessee. Now, Tennessee obviously went into A&M and beat A&M, something that Auburn did not do. May I point that out? And number 2, Vanderbilt has been a team that's been very pesky and a pain in the ass for the Vols this year, and so forth. So, on paper, I'd love to see the A&M game or whatever. I think Tennessee matches up better with them, but at the other time, I think Tennessee would love to, lay belts to asses to Vanderbilt this time around and leave no doubt. I mean, and not have the slow start or the collapse that happened the first game in Nashville. So it seems like it's a redemption thing, but honestly, there's not going to be an easy matchup. There's not in this conference tournament.
No, and, definitely not.
I mean, and then here's the other thing too. If you're able to get by that one, I love the fact that 1:00 Saturday against Auburn. I mean, Tennessee should have won the first game, man, and Auburn's looking vulnerable. It's that, I hate to say it, man, maybe I don't hate to say it, it's that Bruce Pearl collapse that seems to happen. It's a real thing, man. It is a real thing. He ain't our coach anymore, so I don't know what relationship you had with him, but, so
think about it. Think about what you just said there. And all the years me and you have done sports, all the years me and you have talked ball, me and you have talked ball since 2001.
Yeah, 99
No,
technically.
no,
99.
99.
Yeah, technically, yes. Yeah.
Me and you have talked ball since 99, right?
Yes, sir.
And when me and you, we've been to a ton of Bruce Pearl games. Me and you covered Bruce.
Yep.
We have a relationship with said coach
Yes. Yeah.
through West High School, through Stephen Pearl. We
Yes.
have a relationship with this man.
Yes.
Um, when it comes to these games, I feel as if he motivates the team to run through the brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to what's in between the 94 feet, is the style of play
Yep.
gonna win out over the X and the O?
Mm.
Hear me out. Well, as we got these Westover
Yep.
beats
Yep.
cooking in the background, hear me out.
I hear it. Yeah.
This is Rebels with a Cause. This is the Italian Stallion. This is Two Parent Tate. We're on 332 Studios, Big Fact Sports. We got everybody that's pulling up to the slab. And when I tell people this, I'm letting them know, hey, this is serious when we're speaking about Bruce Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't one of those things of where we're we're trying to, you know what I'm saying, tell you a different story. No. We're telling you the story of we've seen this happen.
Yes, we have.
We've seen it happen in the Final Four. We've seen it happen at the University of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That has been the knock on those teams. And if you've seen what Auburn did against Alabama, it reoccurs.
It did. It did. And here's my question. And forgive me because I'm not the best with all their players, two pair. I'm just not. What is the name of the guy that keeps getting kicked out of their games, by the way? Like he does a flagrant two or something. I don't know what his name is. He plays for Auburn, but he got kicked out of that first round game last year. And they ultimately got upset, if you remember, and everything. And he's a very talented player, but how you don't have somebody in check, and what a selfish teammate that he gets himself kicked out, puts the other team on the line with technicals or flagrant fouls or what have you. And it's like, you need to check that shit. You need to check that shit. I mean, I don't care how talented you are as a player. You're not going to fuck my team when it counts the most. And you saw Saturday, that whole thing changed that game too. So you're already going up against a coach that is maybe lacking in the X's and O's, and you've got players with attitude problems. I wouldn't bet them in the tournament. I wouldn't. They might get there, but I wouldn't bet them. You know, that's the thing. They're talented. Broom is what he is, you know, but at the same time, he seems to disappear at times too. That's the other thing as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think Tennessee's got a great shot. Now, I'll tell you a team that simply, and I ain't no lover of this team, but they're playing some great basketball. The Gators.
The Gators.
Florida Gators, man.
They
are a complete team.
And they play tough. They play hard the whole time. That is 40 minutes of hell the way they play.
It is the Nolan Richardson type teams, honestly. I mean, and that coach, he's a very, excuse me, up and coming young coach. He is got them rolling. They got size. They play well on the perimeter. They can shoot the shit out of the ball. They play defense. They can run. They can play half court. That's a team I wouldn't want none of, honestly. I mean, I would avoid them like the plague. And they're right now set up as that one seed out in the West, two pair, which would be in San Francisco for those Sweet 16 Elite 8 games for them or whatever. But they might even be in that Lexington pod or what have you. So, yeah, which wouldn't be a far drive for them. But, you know, I've seen Tennessee as a 2 in the East. I've seen Tennessee as a 2 in the Midwest. But if Tennessee wins this SEC tournament, they should be a 1 in the West. I really believe that, especially if Houston falters. I really believe if Houston loses the Big 12, they'll drop back down to a 2 seed, and maybe Tennessee gets the 1 in the Midwest. I don't know. It'd be fun to go to Indianapolis. So, but
I mean, Tennessee has played as one of the top 8 teams in the country.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
They were number 1 for like 5 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. Was the last undefeated team too. They were the last undefeated team. So yeah. And the thing is, I mean, look at who they've lost to. They don't have a bad loss on the resume. All those teams are going to the tournament. They are. So
they lost to a good Vanderbilt team.
Yes.
Lost to a good Florida team.
Yes. Auburn.
Yep. Auburn.
Yep. Ole Miss is going to be in the tournament.
Ole Miss is going to be in the tournament.
Yes. Yep. So Kentucky, they're going to be in the tournament.
Beard has done at Ole Miss.
Yep. He got a raw deal. He got a raw deal at Texas Tech. And look, you don't even see Texas Tech really. I mean, they're doing okay or whatever, but Chris Beard would have had Texas Tech go into the championship almost every year with his style.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, like, honestly, you've got 8 incredible teams, 4 from the SEC. You got Duke, you got Houston, you got Michigan State. But I'm going to tell you this. There's a team that also has senior leadership and a coach that wins everywhere he goes, and that's Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino and St. John's. I watched that Marquette game last Saturday. That was fun basketball, honestly. I mean, they were up and down. And Rick Pitino, no matter where he goes, he wins 2-pair. Providence, Kentucky, Louisville, Minnesota. The thing is that honestly, the biggest mistake he ever did was leaving Kentucky to go coach the Celtics. That was the biggest mistake. If he had stayed at Kentucky, man, they would have renamed Rupp Arena Pitino Arena. Honestly, they probably would have, because he had that shit rolling, man. Honestly, so yeah. But Pitino and St. John's. I mean, St. John's used to be a blue blood a long time ago, and and realistically,
long time ago with Lou Carnesecca, man.
Yep, yeah, and even Mike Jarvis. Mike Jarvis had some good teams there with Ron Artest and Eric Barkley.
Boosie Thornton, Eric Barkley, Ron Artest. Felipe Lopez was with Fran Fraschilla. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They had some great teams. I mean, they really did. So it's nice to see them back. And of course, they play in the Mecca of Madison Square Garden, where realistically basketball's kind of shied away from the Northeast. I mean, yes, Connecticut's brought it back, the last couple years, but there was a time there where realistically it was either Syracuse or really not much going on. Georgetown has faltered. So those Northeast schools really need kind of like to bring back that geographical presence, because it seems right now the Southeast is where it's at, whether you're an ACC team or you're an SEC team. The Big Ten, like I said, the knock on them, can they get to the Elite Eight? Can they get to a Final Four? Can they win a title? There's no Pac-12 anymore.
No more Pac-12.
The Big 12, I mean, Kansas has probably been the biggest disappointment team all year or whatever.
Kansas is so disappointing because they got all them old dudes on that team, and
I'm surprised Bill Self hadn't quit, to be honest with you. So
I mean, he just won a title.
That's true. That's true. So no, but I mean, like that. He's so frustrated with them that he just said, "The hell with it." I should have gone out 3 years ago. But no, I mean, no, they're good. He's going to get whoever he wants. I mean, they'll get whoever they want.
He's got Kansas. Think about how many titles he's won at Kansas.
3? Is it 3 that he's won?
2? He got one at 08.
08, yep. The shot by Chalmers, yep. 22.
He just won 22.
22. Did he win one in between there? I don't think he did.
No, Baylor would have got that one because Scott Drew got one.
That's right. Scott Drew got one. So let's see here. They lost. They lost to Kentucky in that final, didn't they? With Anthony Davis. The 12 was Kentucky. So, okay. So, yeah. So he got 2. But still, that's awesome. I mean, he got 2 titles for them. So
that's what I'm saying. He already got titles. Yeah,
we'll get that. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like it's kind of interesting. I mean, I love how this is all playing out. I mean, let me ask you this too, Pair. Your thoughts on the Western Coast Conference? It seems like it's every year St. Mary's and Gonzaga. Every year,
Every year is going to be St. Mary's and Gonzaga because they play they play the schedule that says you are going to get in the tournament if you're in the top 25. You're going to get
Yes.
that large bid. So those teams like Gonzaga they've never been able to seal the deal.
Mm-hmm.
St. Mary's is just always going to be a high mid-major that has never been able to crack a Final Four. Have they cracked the Final Four?
They've never gotten to the Final Four. I don't even think they've gotten to an Elite Eight, to be honest with you. They
That's what I'm
really
saying.
haven't.
But they always compete, and they always put out guys like the Patty Mills of the world.
Yes.
And is it Marshallonis over there at St. Mary's right now?
I believe it is. Yes.
Yeah, Marshallonis, Sarunas' son, Sarunas Marshallonis, who played in Golden State, Sacramento, and Seattle. His son is fantastic over there. Really good ball player. But the thing about those schools, they have trouble when they see the Southeastern schools, when they see the Texas schools, when they see the teams that can get a little nitty and gritty and play with a veracity.
Yeah, they're more of a finesse team. They don't like the physicality when it gets to it. They're a finesse team.
They don't want to get active. Like Tennessee loves to get active. Kentucky with Mark Pope, they get active. They're gonna get some guys that are gonna get a little under your skin, make you want to play to the highest level.
Yeah. Can I say this too, Pierre? You bring up such an interesting point. And I we talked about it with Tommy last week, and shout out to Tommy Winton again for being on the show.
Right?
It's a great episode.
I've watched that episode 15 times.
Yeah, no, we've gotten a lot of views on it.
I've watched that episode, the Coach Lindsay episode, Mike Morrow's episode.
Yeah.
The thing is, we're getting a lot of you former players on. And shout out to West Oven on these beats. He made the show it's like a bounce to the show. It feels like in Miami in Uncle Luke days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
we got Crockett and Tubbs here in the house, so there we go. Crockett and Tubbs.
Can I tell you something I was watching the other day?
Uh-huh.
I was watching that Miami 95 team.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Yep. I'll tell you this. We need to get dressed up and do a photo shoot as my hair keeps getting longer, and it is growing back. It is growing back.
Growing back.
We could definitely do a Crockett and Tubbs thing, like Miami Vice type of
Miami Vice,
Rebels Vice, Rebels with a cause Vice, or whatever like that.
Suits. We need to get tailored suits.
Oh, it would be nice. It would be really nice.
Let's do that. That'll be our birthday present to ourselves. Tailored.
Absolutely. Hey, Larry Frank,
walking in the background, man.
We got Larry Frank in the house. What's up, brothers? What is up, man? What is up? So we just talking some college hoops, Larry. We just talking some college hoops and celebrating my birthday. It's 2 days away. Happy birthday to Larry. He just celebrated one, by the way. Larry did. He did. And of course, our brother Devin Lloyd, also from Utah, celebrated a birthday a couple of weeks ago as well. So we all in this area, we all Pisces, are in that area. I think actually you're an Aries, right?
I'm an Aries,
right? You're an Aries, so yeah. But you know what they've always said: if you're on the cusp, you have both. Yeah,
I'm an Aries Pisces cusp. Actually, I'm an Aries Pisces cusp.
Look at this. He's calling us Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin right here. So I mean.
We're Crockett and Tubbs, man.
I love that Crockett and Tubbs thing. So Sonny.
We're Crockett and Tubbs. Hey, that's what we're going for every Halloween is Crockett and Tubbs.
Crockett and Tubbs. So yeah, happy birthday. Thanks, Larry. Thank you, brother. That means a lot. So, but anyway, back to my point though. Tommy, of course, talked about the Vols having a chance to maybe win the whole thing. But you want to know something as an adult and not as a kid. I used to make fun of some teams that quote unquote choked. But it's a hard tournament to win, man. It really is a hard tournament to win. Even if you've got
in America.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but here's the deal.
The ACC tournament, the SEC tournament. We've only won like Rick Barnes won with the 22 team, and that's because Kennedy Chandler went crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I just look at it from a standpoint that it's hard tournament to win. And you don't know the style that you're going to be playing up against. You know, if you're a finesse team and you get with a physical bunch, you don't want none. You really don't. And how are the refs going to call it? I mean, two-pair, maybe you get a ref from the Big 12 that maybe doesn't call that. Or maybe they have are they're whistle happy and you got guys in foul trouble. I mean, how do you navigate that? I mean, and then, you know, the TV timeouts are longer, and then you're in a neutral environment where if the other fans smell blood and there's an upset, they start rooting for the underdog. I mean, it's intense. It is. I believe it is the hardest tournament to win, bar none, in any sport. No disrespect. You know, I mean, obviously, if you were in a 7-game series, some of these big dogs would probably end up winning the whole damn thing, but you're not. It's one and done. It's win or go home. So, yeah.
Absolutely, that's what it's one and done. If you're not prepared to play the one and done style, if you don't come with your best stuff, it's just like what Ron Slay said on the Sports Animal. On any given night, somebody can get exposure or get exposed, and this is the type of tournament that can do that. That SEC tournament, that ACC tournament, the Big East tournament. This is what big time basketball is all about. And if you're not willing to play on that level for that high level, then guess what? It ain't for you. You can go to 1-2-3 Cancun and you'll be just fine.
There you go, fishing in Cancun. Hey, Two-Pair, I want you to kind of chime in on this because, you know, you're a Tar Heels fan, too. Larry wrote, tourney time, I have nothing to say. The Tar Heels suck, and they extended that bum-ass coach. What's your thought? I mean, here's my thing. For North Carolina, they did hire that new guy to be their general manager, so maybe they can do some NIL to get back. I mean, they could turn it around. Maybe this year. Yeah, you got to get guys. I mean,
Carolina. Yeah. For North Carolina to be what North Carolina is, they got to go back to getting North Carolina guys.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, too, is I still think back to that episode, and Larry was very relevant, like, in his, he always brings to the show, but, like, you and him brought up something that was, like, mind-blowing to me last year when we were talking about who the last all-star in the NBA was from North Carolina, you know? Like, I mean, and it's
it could have been Kobe White. It should have been Kobe White this year.
He's actually done very well. No, he has done
he's the guy that's the closest one to being an all-star.
Yeah. I mean, but I just look at the players that they get, and you know, they might be good college players. You know, they showed Justin Jackson the other night. He's a national champion. Joel Berry, who's on ACC Network, you know, he was on that championship team.
Right.
But I'm like, but why didn't these guys make it in the NBA? Because I thought they were studs in the college, man. They were you know, I mean, I just don't know if it was bad drafts or what happened there. So, yeah. Where North Carolina messed up, they allowed Duke to get back on top before them. So here's the thing that I'm shocked about with that, and I'll say this. Duke has a phenomenal team this year. I'm not saying they win it, but they've got a phenomenal team. They're big. They've got Cooper Flagg. They got, you know, like him or hate him, whatever. But the thing is this. That surprises me because I thought North Carolina was ahead of Duke. Yes, Duke has commanded the one and done era, but they only have one championship to show for it in that era. That was the Jahlil Okafor team with Tyus Jones, Justice Winslow. 10 years ago. You know, that's a decade ago.
That was Krzyzewski's last hurrah.
Yeah, last hurrah. Yeah, and so and here's the thing: like North Carolina ends him in the Final Four 3 years ago, hands over to Shire, and the thing is that North Carolina is in danger of going to the NIT 2 out of the last 3 years since that Final Four championship game appearance. I don't understand that. That's what I don't understand. I thought that Final Four would have brought some dudes to come to North Carolina. You know, I don't know why they're not getting the guys. So, yeah. So. All the Carolina studs are going to Durham over Chapel Hill. Yeah, they are. I mean, the homegrown talent is even going over there. Like, I look at a guy like Isaiah Evans that plays for Duke. That guy's a Tar Heel 25 years ago. I just don't see him in a Duke uniform 25 years ago. I see him as a North Carolina guy being homegrown down there. I think Brandon Ingram would have been a North Carolina guy as opposed to going to Duke because, he played, I think, at the same school as Jerry Stackhouse, if I'm not mistaken. So down there. But yeah, I don't know. Like Carolina could get hot in this ACC tournament. I don't think it's done. I mean, let me tell you something. I watched some bad basketball today between Pittsburgh and Notre Dame, and Notre Dame won on a controversial free throw or something like that. But neither team, two-pair, could get above 60 points. The tickets were $2 today for those games, man, in Charlotte. Like, I remember when you couldn't get a ticket at the ACC tournament, man.
Right.
I mean, there's some bad basketball being played, man. Bad basketball.
Very.
Hey, look at this. UNC coach is the basketball version of Mario Cristobal, an overrated, overhyped, overpaid bum. Yeah. The one thing I'll give him, at least he got to a championship game. I don't think Cristobal will ever get to a championship game. That's the one thing I'll give Hubert. At least he was there in the Final Four. If Mario got to a championship game, he would have gotten his ass miracled there.
Right.
Honestly. So shoot, Mario. God. Hey, Larry, just to talk football, by the way, I get these updates about Miami spring football and everything, and it's just like, I don't care. You guys had a once-in-a-lifetime quarterback that is probably going to be the number one pick by the Titans or the Giants at 4, and you couldn't get to the damn ACC title or the playoffs. I mean, are you kidding me?
Let Clemson win it.
Oh, I'll never forgive them for that. Oh, they should have been made to walk back from Syracuse, New York. They should have been all made hitchhike your asses back to Miami from Syracuse for that. For blowing a 21-0 lead, man. It should have been 48-0 is what it should have been.
Exactly.
So, I mean, bums. Just bums. So, yeah. I mean, I
got on tap.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else? I did want to say this. I love that you're contributing to the chat box. I wish everybody else would too. So, want to give a couple shout outs to our West Spring Sports real quick.
Let's talk West Spring Sports.
So check this out. Our baseball team is kicking some ass, man. They won tonight, beating West Ridge 3-2 in a game up there. They were in some little tournament up there. They played 2 games today. The other one, they went ahead and beat Science Hill 11-7. So 2 big more wins for the baseball team. Soccer fell short tonight. The boys did against Farragut 2-1. But our girls softball team, they beat Bearden in the rivalry game 3-2. So shout out to our softball girls tonight. And all the spring sports are doing great. Lacrosse is doing their thing. Both boys and girls are whipping some ass. So just keep doing your thing. Don't know what's going on with track, but you always know that we've always been a strong track program. So hopefully they're doing their thing. Football team is still fundraising right now. So, that's a big thing going on right there. And, honestly, spring football, we're getting close to pair. It's May.
Sure.
May will be here before we know it. Getting that spring football as we try for that 3 out of 4. Man, we really want that 3 out of 4 more than anything.
3 out of 4, man. Spring football's coming up. Hey, baseball team is kicking ass and taking names.
They are.
Coach is doing a fantastic job with these.
Yeah, we need to get him on. I know that we've got to navigate a couple of weeks here with spring break and everything like that, but I need to call Romero and get the baseball coaches on because they've invited us personally.
Volleyball coach. We got to get Jessica Lee on next year.
We've got to get all these guys on more than anything and so forth. So absolutely.
I think you just turned. Did you turn your computer off, Stallion? I think Stallion just turned his computer off, or he just lost.
I just had I'm having light issues over here, unfortunately.
Okay.
So yeah, having some light issues. So yeah, but it's all live. That's what happens when you go live. So it's not always.
Look at that dude who looks like Dan Morgan in the back.
Oh, look at that guy right there. Look at that guy. Here, I'll move out of the way.
That guy looked like he was doing something.
Oh yeah, look at that. Blonde highlights and everything. I mean, yeah, dude, it was It was some stuff going on there, man. So yeah, for sure. 45, baby. So yeah. Larry Frank, he put this with football. My Steelers broke my heart. Fields gone, Harris gone, flirting with Aaron Rodgers, and I just read Anthony Richardson is on the radar. Let me just tell you this. I'm going to throw another team out there that absolutely stinks.
Who's that?
The Dolphins. They stink. I mean, they're free agents. They just got a bum offensive lineman from one of the worst teams, and their offensive line is trying to protect Tua, who's one concussion away from retirement. The backup quarterback they signed is absolute garbage. I mean, it's like, what are you doing over there in free agency, Miami? I mean, scared money don't spend money, man. I mean, they don't make money. Scared money don't make money. That's joke. So, yeah. Yeah, no, Larry, I feel for you, man. At least the Steelers make the playoffs. The Dolphins are the team that holds the door open for.
How about DK Metcalf going to the Steelers, though? That is big.
Yeah. They traded Braxton Berrios, one of their most reliable possession little wide receivers, for that lineman. I mean, the Dolphins are stupid. They are just a dumb franchise. Losing for 40 years, 50 years, whatever it is. Hadn't been to a Super Bowl in 40, hadn't won one in 50. Think about that. That's just absurd. So and all their other Miami teams have won multiple titles since. The Marlins have won 2 titles, who are a horrible baseball team. The Panthers are in line for another hockey championship this year. The Heat, they've had their success here and there, but the Dolphins are the worst thing about South Florida sports. Hell, Inter Miami with Messi's going to win a title before them. Come on now. So, shoot.
That could happen.
Oh, he says DK ain't nothing. Who's going to be throwing it to him? That's what he wants to know. So who is the Steelers quarterback? Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers or Anthony Richardson? Really? Oh, my God. Wow. I can't believe they let Fields go, but whatever.
Crazy.
That's terrible. Yeah. Well, and you know what the other thing too is, it's kind of crazy because basketball kind of takes the front. Still Russ. It's still Russ. Okay, it's still Russell Wilson for right now. But the other thing too is these free agent deals in baseball are going on in the background because college basketball is taking the front and center right now. And
college basketball is taking front and center right now.
Yeah. So they'll have all this stuff will be more relevant in April and the draft and, the combine. So I just can't believe Aaron Rodgers is still talking about playing, man. Just let it go. It's done.
I'm at that point with Aaron Rodgers that I don't know if I hold him on the same mantle as I once did on the quarterback pantheon, because I look at a guy that's an MVP player. If he goes to Pittsburgh, it's the Pittsburgh way. It ain't the Aaron Rodgers way.
Yeah.
We're not pulling your guys. We're content on being the Steelers and not the Aaron Rodgers. That's what happened with Green Bay. That's what happened in New York. And you see Green Bay is thriving doing the Green Bay way, having a successor like a Jordan Love who's playing fantastic football and putting up the numbers to garner said contracts.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and Larry just made a very bold statement here. If Rodgers goes to Pittsburgh, Tomlin can kiss them non-losing seasons goodbye. Yeah, and here's the other thing, too. They play in a bloodbath of a division. I mean, the Bengals, I don't know if they're going to get it together with Burrow and company. Obviously, the Ravens are still going to be on the hunt and everything like that. I mean, the Browns are the Browns, and so forth. But the thing is that this guy I feel, has become a cancer. I really feel he's become a cancer. And like you said, I think he's jeopardized where he belongs on that quarterback platform. Yes, he's won a Super Bowl, but, his later years definitely don't match the early and middle years. They really do not, nor have his antics and things that he has said off the field as well, that make you that controversial player. I just don't know if anybody really wants to play with him. Like if you're a young guy, are you excited to play with an Aaron Rodgers? I mean, shit. So that's what I get.
It isn't what it once was.
Yeah, it isn't. And Larry bringing the heat tonight. Ravens got Hopkins, Henry, and Lamar. They own the North. Yeah, they do. And Harbaugh, he can pretty much do what he wants up there. He can stay there as long as he wants. So yeah. I mean, we got about 15 minutes left on the show. The other thing I was going to talk about, real quick, what about the LeBron James with this groin injury and the Lakers, and what's
Stephen
your
A. Smith?
Oh yeah. So what? So let me ask you this: what was that? Like, was that a publicity stunt or was that real? I mean, I don't really even listen to Stephen A. But the thing is was he really insulting Bronny? I mean, I know we've torn Bronny apart on this show, but LeBron don't know us from nobody. That's the thing.
What
So I mean,
with okay, let me say this. And we are big fans of LeBron,
oh
and
yeah, oh
we
yeah,
would
yeah.
never we wouldn't talk bad about Bronny. All we said is we wish Bronny would have went to Duquesne to play under Drew Joyce. We said that numerous times on the show.
Or come back to school and do something, or something like
but
that.
we're not going to talk bad about his son playing. We're not expecting anything from his rookie season. This is his learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not. Here's what I want people to understand about Rebels with a Cause.
Mm.
Our cause is to get student athletes. That's our cause. Our cause is to teach student athletes media training and let them know, hey, you've got a platform to learn about communications. We interviewed the best players in the city who are on Knoxville Focus right now. Jalen Hill, Kevin Jack, and Devin Martin. So we're here for a cause. And when we saw Bronny, we've said consistently that we would have loved to see him play under Drew Joyce. Mm-hmm. We've said that numerous times. We understand his season is going to be a learning experience of growth and trials and tribulations. This man just had a heart condition. We're not viewing this rookie season as anything but a learning experience.
He's lucky to be on the court. Some people have never played again after a heart condition. They've died on the court.
Yeah, so LeBron wouldn't come at us in that manner because that was a father. That wasn't LeBron James, the basketball player. That was LeBron James, the father.
Yeah. So what did Stephen A. say? Was he just being his typical jackass self, just like insulting somebody or whatever like that? Like he was such a great basketball player back in the day or whatever like that. I mean, I just think like it's like, look, I get that you try to get ratings and everything like that, but I mean, sometimes you got to be careful what you say. Like, for example, Tom Brady can pretty much, I think, anybody on a football field because he look at what he did, but I mean, but if you look at like somebody like, I don't know, Brad Nessler or someone like that, how good of a player were you, man, when you played, honestly, before you go throwing out there that, now you can be disappointed in some players' play. Maybe some people didn't bring it. Some people were loafing out there, didn't bring it 100%. That's a different story. But if you made it to the big leagues, man, and even got a minute of playing time, you're better than like 99% of anybody the fuck else. I'm sorry. Like, you really are. So, I mean, get the hell out of here with this. So, but honestly, like, I mean, I watched Jason Tatum throw 40 on the Lakers the other night too. I mean, Jesus, it was just like, wow. And realistically, the Cavaliers, are they the real deal, or is this a flash in the pan? I mean, are we going to see?
I don't know yet. I gotta see what it is in the playoffs because the times that I give the Cavaliers their due, and then they give me the BS.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, it's the Celtics' to lose always because they are the defending champs. And we on this show have always said, you're the champs until somebody dethrones you as the champs. Right. I mean, here's the thing. As shitty as Connecticut's played this year, they could go on a run. You never know. They could go on a run, Connecticut. So going for that three-peat. But right now, it's kind of shown that the three-peat isn't in the cards this year. West didn't do it. The Chiefs didn't do it, so it just seems like maybe it's that was a back-to-back last year, and this year is a new champ being crowned. So yeah. Let's see here. Larry Frank, Cavs equal the Buffalo Bills regular season equivalent. The Boston is the Chiefs. Yeah. I mean, you gotta look at it like that. So yeah. I guess I also wanted to talk a little bit more hoops real quick, and I know, Larry, I know your Tar Heels have disappointed you and so forth like that, but do you at least agree that the conference tournament week is just as exciting as that first weekend of the NCAA tournament, man? I mean, you get to see all these different conferences, and you get to see the Cinderellas, and these people, they all have a dream, and then, Selection Sunday, and then it's like, it's go time. It's go time, and I just have always more exciting. Yeah. The conference tournaments, I could argue, might be a little bit more exciting because, I mean, think about Saturday's lineup. Think about Saturday's lineup. You could potentially have Tennessee and Auburn at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock game.
Okay. You could have Alabama, Florida at 3 o'clock. You could have the Big 12 championship at 6.
Ooh,
You got the ACC championship at 8:30 in Charlotte.
You cooking, Stallion?
Look at that. And you finish it out with like one more championship at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday on ESPN. And then Sunday, you can do the SEC championship at 1, flip over to CBS for the Big Ten, and bam, it's Selection Sunday, baby. This is the madness. This is the best time of year, man. And I love it that my birthday is always around this time of year.
March Madness, he gotta love it.
Yeah. Kerry Reeves. What's up, Kerry? Thank you for showing up, baby. Kerry Reeves on the show tonight. Hey, Bills are my boys, and they just signed Reeves. Joey Bosa. March Madness is the best event other than the Super Bowl. I love it. Damn right. Happy birthday to the Stallion. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, brother. Miss you. I'm so glad you're doing better. So, yeah. Oh, let's talk some wrestling real quick. Conference tourney is more exciting than Cody Rhodes. Oh, what about John Cena's heel turn? Let's talk about that. And since it is my birthday, let's talk about John Cena's heel turn. And The Rock. John Cena and The Rock, man, getting that. I think Cena wins that title at WrestleMania.
I think Cena wins the title to go out. Like, are they going to let him break Ric Flair's record?
I don't know. So, I mean, there's been talk about that. Hey, Kerry has a point, and I did want to. Kerry, I'm glad you reminded me of something. Kerry Reeves said, and the women's selection is Sunday night as well as the men's selection show. Do you know what I really believe? I really believe that the women's selection show should actually have been like Monday night or Tuesday.
Yeah.
It should have been Tuesday night after Connecticut and the women's thing. They should have their own thing. They shouldn't have to share the spotlight with the men. But I will say this. They may have had the best tournament last year. I think this year the men have the star power this year in the tournament. I believe that. Maybe I could be wrong. So we'll see what happens. So yeah. This generation version of Hogan's NWO turn, absolutely. And Larry, you bring up something, man. I know old Kevin Nash said, "Oh, the NWO was better." It's different eras, man.
It's totally different era.
And it's like, listen, I love me some Kevin Nash, but it's like, look, dude, we know what you did. Us wrestling fans, we need something new to keep us entertained.
Us wrestling fans love Bret Hart. Us wrestling fans love Shawn Michaels. Us wrestling fans love Tully Blanchard. Us wrestling fans love Arn Anderson. Us wrestling fans love Ron Simmons. Us wrestling fans love the guys that know how to wrestle, that know how to be charismatic on the microphone.
Thank you.
We love the Dusty Rhodes, baby. We love that because WrestleMania is right around the corner. We love the Bianca Belairs. We love the Naomis.
Yeah,
we love wrestling.
Yes, we do. And
Trish
Trish Stratus. Look at that. So, hey, what about my Liv Morgan? I love me some Liv Morgan. So, I'm telling you, yeah.
But that's what we built when we talk about Rebels with a Cause. We're talking wrestling. We're talking sports. We're talking MMA. We're talking boxing. We're talking West High School sports. We're talking about all of this because we're making a whole bunch of music. And hey, guys, I got to wrap this up because we about to get in the studio and work.
All right, brother. Well, go on ahead, Two-Pair. I'll finish out the show, brother. Thank you for spending my birthday with me, man. I love you, okay? Take it easy. So, later, man.
Yes, sir. I'll let you, brother.
You bet. Yeah. Larry, I do want to bring this up, by the way. And please answer this. Please answer this. Carrie, whoever else is on the chat, please answer this. I want you to go back to when that heel turn happened with Hogan. Was Bobby Heenan drunk? Like I'm not trying to be mean. Rest his soul. But why would you say what he did say, man? You just blew my mind with what you just brought up, Larry. Honestly. For example, he walks out there and is he with us? And then I think it's Tony Schiavone that says, "Oh, are you serious?" or whatever like that, and everything like that. It's like, why would you even insinuate that? Keep your mouth shut, honestly, and you're right about that. You are right about that. Bobby Heenan said it. Cena was just there in the ring smiling and gives him that hug. And then, oh my God, that look that Cena gave, man. It's like, that's the Cena that is like, get out of my ring. That's the Cena that is like, there were rumors, there were certain wrestlers he buried backstage when he was, Kenny from the Spirit Squad. I'm just, come on, Kenny. I'm just saying, we got to see Cena, the guy that can hold Big Show, and Big Show was quoted as saying, "That's the guy that I always felt fine when he lifted me up. No, he didn't move." This is the Cena we've wanted for years, guys. Enjoy this. This is incredible. Incredible. So, yeah. Carrie writes, my favorite wrestling was the NWA in the 80s. I never missed World CJ. I'm going to tell you this, man. NWA lost something when they got acquired by WCW. And I also will bring something up here in a minute, but let me keep going with the chat box. Give Triple H his credit. He's cooking. The Bianchi storyline is hot. Yep. Cena heel turn, Jey Uso. Dude, we knew. Can I just say this about Triple H? One of my favorite wrestlers, hands down. My radio handle for a long time was the game Triple J, because I love Triple H so much, and I used to come out to Motorhead's The Game. But I am just saying that we knew that the business would be in good hands with Triple H, because he knows what's best for business. The only thing we got cheated out of is the fact that he had the heart problem, and he should be doing what Vince McMahon was doing all those years ago. He should be the new Vince McMahon. And it's not that you're recycling storylines. How hot would it be if you had Rock, if you did like a Triple H Cody versus Cena and Rock at WrestleMania, if Triple H was physically able to do it? That's what I'm talking about right there. We got cheated out of that when he had that heart problem. Thank God the mind is still there, but damn, did we miss some potential shit for the next 10 years or so while he is still physically able. And the way that guy works out, or did work out, he could have done it into his 70s without the use of roids. So Hogan's the third man dead giveaway. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would you give that away? Let everybody just be like, he's there to help Macho Man. No, he's going to throw his damn face through the ring like he did when he stole Miss Elizabeth. So never missed World Championship Wrestling during the 80s with the Four Horsemen. Damn right. Dusty Rhodes and those guys. Heenan predicted the Hogan turn years before it happened. It was in his book. Wow. I didn't read his book. Maybe I need to read old Bobby Heenan's book. I like that. So, yes. So here's another thing with wrestling, by the way. Here's another thing with wrestling. You look at what's going on now and so forth with wrestling. Saturday afternoon on TBS. Yes, I remember watching El Gigante. So, but here's the other thing I was going to say. My best friend Mark, I don't know if he even came on to watch. I know he's busy and so forth like that. But truth be told, I had a discussion with him about the Cena heel turn and everything. He thought that was cool and everything, and The Rock. But him and I were having the discussion of how WWE beat WCW. And it's really funny if you think about it. WCW guys that were misused, like Triple H, like Mick Foley. Of course, he was more ECW, but he was in WCW. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Those guys literally went to WWE and were the reason they put WCW out of business. The WWE guys that McMahon was done with went to WCW, and they were past their prime. Still had the name, still had the look, but the in-ring product wasn't there. As a kid, I didn't see it. When you go back and watch those matches as an adult, oh yeah, there was not the same product that WWE was putting. And it took 82 weeks, but I was just thinking about that. I was like, man, if you think about that, WCW rejects, and they would never be considered rejects now, were used correctly by Jim Ross and McMahon and that whole team over there, where WCW did not. And WCW was just using the same tired storylines that McMahon did. Yeah, you had maybe a occasional hit with Bischoff, or you had Vince Russo for a minute, but when they didn't even have a damn show written and they're 15 minutes from going live, I mean, it's a no-brainer. And then they're giving away the taped matches, and you're telling them to switch over to watch Mick Foley win his first championship against The Rock. The Rock was the only homegrown. Undertaker technically was a WCW guy that didn't make it and went to WWE, but you got to give Taker credit whether you love him or hate him. Mark Calloway never jumped ship. He was probably offered a lot of money, but he never jumped ship. The worst thing Bret Hart ever did was go to WCW. I understand why he did it, but he never gets hurt in that ring with Bill Goldberg. And probably could have still wrestled for another 10 years, the way that guy trained, the way that guy took care of himself. So, Shawn Michaels, if he never hurts his back against Taker in that casket match. But you know what the truth of the matter is? He probably is dead because of his cocaine habit. He found God, he found a wife, children, and rejuvenated his career and gave some great matches when they even said he may never wrestle again. But Shawn Michaels was a homegrown guy. So I say that you look back at those wrestling wars of how special they were, but it was really a full circle time. That's just something I wanted to bring up. So, yeah. People forget that Triple H, terrorizing. I mean, and he had that blonde flowing hair. And then they basically take a shit on William Regal, which they do all the time, Larry. Kerry, you probably seen it too. Like, they take a shit on William Regal and make Triple H this triple Hunter Hurst Helmsley, and he does this bow, and he's like riding a horse from Greenwich, Connecticut, and everything like that. I mean, it was a total knock on the blue bloods of WCW at the time. It was. And then, thank God, he ditched that gimmick and found something with the Triple H and the game and the Cerebral Assassin, and did his thing with DX, made DX his own, became a singles guy. I mean, but damn, did they not know how to manage people? They did not. So, yeah. WCW did what AEW is doing now, overusing overhyped expired WWE people. Yeah. I mean, let me just tell you this. I don't look great. Larry, I hope you're still doing your diet, man. I hope that, but the thing, can I just say this, guys? I mean, but we ain't that. We're not wrestlers that have to stay in shape. But I mean, I look at Jericho, and I know Father Time gets us all, man, but it's like, man, you ain't as compact as you used to be, and you're still trying to show it off like you're 20 years ago, and you ain't, man. You just ain't. And you see Edge and you see Christian, and it's like, let it go, guys. I loved you all. I did, but there's a reason. And I feel for Edge. He lost a lot of years because of that injury, but he's lucky that he's even back in the ring, let alone, I mean, shit happens. It really does happen, unfortunately. So, yeah. I mean, keep bringing the heat, Larry. Keep bringing this. Kevin Nash, Oz. I mean, dude, he came out there like the Wizard of Oz. And we're not talking what was in Wicked. We're talking about Oz. I mean, what the hell was that? Vinny Vegas? Look, he was a like a male stripper he was coming out as or whatever. The Diamond Studs, Scott Hall. Yep. Yeah. Hell, go back and watch Paul Heyman's promos when he was Paulie Dangerously. They fumbled him too. Let me tell you something. That guy knows the business. Watch him last night with CM Punk after Roman Reigns ripped that ass up. I'm telling you, Paul Heyman, the only reason that he's still in WWE is because he needs the money to pay all these people that he just was not a good booker. He was a great booker, great mind, just terrible owner. Just did not know how to manage money correctly. But the guy, day one would be a guy that I would say, stack my roster, create storylines, go. If I was doing a promotion and I had money, that's the guy that I would pay. Honestly. Don't put him in charge of handling the money, but give him what he needs to create an entertaining show and storyline and booking for the next few months. Hands down. Hands down. So, yeah. Just like The Rock was homegrown, Sting was homegrown, and WCW shit on him. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Kerry, thank you. I want to give a shout out. Listen, whether you hate this guy or love this guy, he's a University of Miami grad. Built like a shit brick house. But I saw genuine tears in his eyes. Lex Luger is going to get put in the Hall of Fame. And whether you love Luger, whether you blame him for Miss Elizabeth, I'm going to tell you this. The guy, the total package. I mean, moving them biceps up and down. The guy that, beat Hogan and does the celebration in the ring with the title and killing the NWO only to join the Wolfpack with Sting. I mean, I remember those days. It was Ric Flair. It was Lex Luger. It was Sid Vicious. It was Ron Simmons. It was Sting. Those were their homegrown guys. And they shit on them. They shit on everybody. They just didn't know what they were doing. Had lots of money to spend, but had no wrestling mind. And that's why McMahon says, I'm in the sports entertainment business, not wrestling. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Paul Heyman is a national treasure. That Hall of Fame speech, fire last year. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's amazing. I would go to a panel and listen to him for 2 hours at one of those comic conventions or wrestling conventions. The stories that he tells. The people that he has literally grown and made. The Hall of Fame. Congrats to him. Long overdue. Long overdue. Can we give love to Diamond Dallas Page? Larry, thank you. DDP. Is he in the Hall of Fame? Forgive me if I don't know this. But he has he gave Scott Hall 7 more years of life. He gave. He's helping Lex Luger now. He saved Jake the Snake Roberts. He has helped countless men. This guy's got a heart of gold. And you talk about a guy that got in the business late, and, worked as a bouncer at a strip club and wrestled, when he wasn't doing that. I mean, friends with rock stars. This dude, you see his A&E biography, man. But shout out to DDP, baby. I mean, instead of, no offense, and I don't even think the award exists anymore. Instead of the Warrior Award, it should be the Diamond Dallas Page Award that's given every year for a Hall of Fame inductee. Honestly, somebody that just, Luger the wrestler deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, no doubt. I only wish that the Midnight Express would be inducted with James E. Cornette. He was great on the mic and his teams were great. They should. That's somebody that definitely needs to be in there. I'll go even a step further, Kerry. There should be a Hall of Fame actual place that we could go visit, like in Canton for the NFL, in Storrs, Connecticut, or somewhere in Connecticut where WWE headquarters is. There should be a separate building there for the Hall of Fame. And everybody has a corner, it should be a big deal. Should be a big deal, honestly. Scott Riggs, yep. Buff Bagwell, yep. DDP should be in too. Agree with that. Yeah, he's saving all these guys' lives. I heard that Buff Bagwell said that Marty Jannetty's on the brink of death. And, I know that they've shit on Marty Jannetty. I know Marty Jannetty is his own best enemy. But you talk about the trajectory of those guys. They were good-looking dudes. The girls loved them. They were high-flying. Shawn was lucky that he had a better look than Marty. But it took the back injury to save Shawn's life. Marty's never had that type of an injury. But just the substance abuse, man. I pray for those people. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. And it can be drugs. It can be alcohol. It's just not good. And Buff Bagwell's saying that, he's pretty close to death. So very sad. Very sad. Jim Cornette won't get in because he's too real about the business. Yeah. I mean, I think that if Triple H wants it to happen, it will happen. Cornette will have to, basically That's important. I laugh to think that if he really does outlive Russo, I hope a camera crew does come to watch him piss on that grave. I don't want to see him I want to see him from behind and the urine going on the grave if that really does happen. The heat between those two men, honestly. So I don't think I've hated anybody enough to want to piss on their grave and outlive them, but hey, to each his own, whatever is your cause to keep going. So yeah, for sure. So yeah. I mean, it's just funny. I could talk wrestling all day. I could do my own wrestling show. Larry and me have even joked around talking about doing our own wrestling show. But we got lives, we got families, we got work. He's on the road, But I could talk wrestling all day. Honestly, if the audience is there for, especially this time, this time's golden. This time's amazing. So but. I want to thank everybody who came on and wished me a happy birthday, and just the chat box. I love when the chat box is hopping. I love when we have great interviews. I love when we have good stuff to talk about. Sports is such an amazing outlet, guys. And I never want to get political or any of that shit. There's enough bull crap about that. Sports is sacred. Sports needs to be its own platform. Sports is our release from the BS we have to put on. And I'm not trying to be on my soapbox. I'm not. But my God, I love talking sports with all of you. You're my friends, my brothers, people that I would do anything for if it was in my power financially or logistically. That's what we're all here for, honestly. And nothing but love, and all my subscribers, my co-host Shane, who couldn't be here tonight, praying for you, brother. Hope you're feeling better. Two Pair, everything he brings to the table, all of our guests, our interviews, our subscribers. This doesn't happen without you. I don't get paid for this. I don't need money for this. This is an opportunity to just have conversations about sports and so, I guess he's not going to be in the Masters, obviously. So, so there's a storyline for golf, but shouts out to, yes, shout out to EYO for slapping the shit out of Bianca and Rhea. Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll tell you one thing. I think Rhea's storyline is starting to get stale. It really is. I think that was last year. It was interesting with the mommy and everything like that. Something's got to change. Something's got to change. You're only as good as your competition, and if you're too dominant, you got to have that wrestler that opposes you. The Liv Morgan storyline's been done. You have to have rivals. And as you know, the greats have always had multiple rivals. And you got to keep those storylines fresh, and you're only as fresh as your competition. So shout out to EYO for sure, honestly, on that one. So, but again, guys, I want to thank you for joining me for my birthday tonight. It was a stallion roast, and it was nothing but love. I know I have my haters out there. It's okay. It's all good. I pray for you and wish you love. That's not what I'm not all about the bad stuff or whatever. So glad nobody came on here and said, "Oh, he sucks," but it's all good. But I just want everybody to know that I love each and every one of you that contribute to this show, as a fan, as a subscriber, as a guest. Getting our message out there. But it really is all about the kids, like Two Pair said. We are a cause, and we want them to be better than us. That's what this show is all about. So, but I want to thank everybody that joined us. We will be, I don't know when we're going to do it, but I would love Carrie, I'd love Larry, I'd love anybody that watches this show. Pay attention. We're going to have a show coming up when the brackets are announced, and I want to do a pick'em show. I mean, I don't really care about the first four, but I would love to do a show the Wednesday night going into Thursday, maybe next Wednesday night if everybody can do it. Jump on and let's make a bracket together that maybe wins this ESPN tournament challenge. We did it last year, didn't go so well, but there were a lot of upsets last year. Maybe this year it's more chalk. But we know that there's going to be some upsets, but I'd like to pick a bracket together, submit it by the 11 o'clock deadline on Thursday, and let's enjoy the March Madness, so but absolutely. So F my haters, I'll say it for you. You're my little brother always, man. You're my big brother. Yeah, I love you, man. I love you. It's been amazing being in each other's lives for so many years now, and I just can't wait to see how many more years and get what we blessed that we get a lot of years, honestly, because we've lost so many family members, friends, and I'm just blessed to see 41. I mean that. I had a friend, but I made it to 41, and I live for him, and I visit his grave every year on his birthday and leave a card on it and thank him for being my first friend when I moved, when that Spanish boy moved from Miami to Knoxville, Tennessee, with an accent and slicked back hair, and they didn't know who the hell this guy was. So that's the truth. So that is the truth. So yeah, Larry, we talked about it. I will tell you when the show is, and I will email you the link. Just email me. I still think I have your email, but just text me or message that. So yeah, it will be a lot of fun. And Carrie, you definitely got to be in there. I'll be promoting the show. I really will. So yeah, absolutely. Screw those haters. Absolutely. Hey, you know what the thing is with haters? They make us better. They do, from a standpoint. We don't give them that energy. We do is that we just elevate ourselves to overcome the hate, and that they ain't even worth our time. They don't live rent free in our heads. That's a fact. So, but anyway, but for myself, for Two Pair Tate, for Larry Frank, for Carrie Reeves, and anybody else that watched this show live, and if you watch it recorded, hit that like and subscribe button, baby. Can't do it without you. It's Rebels with a Cause. That cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Throw them W's up for the Rebels and enjoy the conference tournaments and the basketball, baby. March Madness, it happens once a year. Rebels with a Cause. We out. Be safe, love one another,